Hello, thank you for joining me again. Today it is the 80th anniversary that the island of Jersey was liberated from Nazi occupation. Hence the flags, hence the bunting. Yes, it's a very exciting day for us all here. I have spent several hours of my day today. We have bunting up. I have a flag up outside, the Jersey flag, this gorgeous flag, and I have bunting up Jersey and British bunting in my conservatory, and I had various family members around to celebrate the 80th anniversary of liberation. Look at this, it's my mug. I know, another mug, I can't help myself. And I have got, I will stand up, my 80th liberation commemorative t-shirt. There were, I think, 3 different designs, maybe 2. My son has a different design because I bought it for him and he very kindly wore it for me, bless him. So we had lovely celebrations, we had reflection about our own relatives. So my great-grandmother was here during the Jersey occupation for the whole time. My grandmother, her daughter, was evacuated just before the island was invaded with my dad and her older son and cousin Terry, who ended up being a brigadier and serving in the British Army after the Second World War. And yes, and obviously other family members. So for example, I've used the experiences that have been passed down to me over the years in my own books. One of them, An Island at War. So this is a story about a family in the northwest of the island. I live in the northwest of the island, who have a small farm, and the grandmother stays behind on the island to look after the farm with the oldest daughter, who's this book is about really, and the younger daughter is evacuated to England like my own father was, and ends up having to live through the Blitz and that sort of thing. And at the back of my books, I have an author letter. I have acknowledgements, but I have an author letter. And the Jersey Heritage very kindly gave me permission to use my great-grandmother's occupation registration card. There's also, oh, I've got pictures of telegrams, family telegrams, that sort of thing. But there's also, because the girl is in this book, in An Island at War, is she wants to be a clothes designer, and I actually used one of the designs my late mother-in-law used. She was from Guernsey. She was also evacuated. So it's, yes, and in the Neighbours at War, there actually is a story based on a true story that was brought to me about a lady from the East End of London who runs away from home and ends up having to go in hiding with her baby son, who was born just after the island was occupied, and she had to stay here all that time. And again, at the back of this book, I also have an author letter and more photos. That was her occupation registration card. And my great aunts, who I used actually my great aunt's home and my great grandmother's home actually in this book as the addresses of where my main character and her best friend lived. So yes, I've used it a lot in my books. I've also got where's the Beekeeper's Wall? That's there. That's partially set here. But these two are wholly set here. And I can only imagine what a difficult time it was for the poor islanders who, I mean, their money changed. They couldn't even use British currency anymore. They had to live by, continental time, driving the different side of the road. There were so many different things. It must have been terrifying living under Nazi rule. And of course, towards the end of the war, everybody was starving, even the German soldiers. So it was a very, very difficult time. And writing about it and people actually reading the books is such an honour for me. And I've had over the years, since people have read my books, they have contacted me with their own quite incredible stories. I mean, one lady wrote to me from America, and it was only when her mother died a couple of years ago that she discovered her mother was a Jewess, and she had been on the island throughout the occupation, and after the war had been so terrified by the fact that she was Jewish that she never even told her own daughter. And when the daughter decided to look into her mother's life, she discovered she had been quite well written about, not by me, the story I tell is about a completely different lady, but by other people who'd written books, about the Irons history, especially the occupation history. And she said it was incredible to learn this about her mother, and the fact that she was so fearful from the war that she kept her religion private even from her own daughter, and that to me is very sad. And other stories as well of people that have told me stories over the years, having read my books. So that really, I feel really honoured that they've done that. Yes, I even had one man contact me. His father was in the French Resistance about something in my book, and gave me stories about his father. I don't use people's stories. As I say, my books are fiction. Obviously, they're novels. Neighbours at War was very much inspired by a true story, and I say that in the book at the end of my author letter. But mostly they're stories that have been passed down through my family, and obviously research, and things like that. So yes, I always celebrate Liberation Day. It means a lot I think we're just so very lucky because of the tyranny the whole world had a threat of becoming under, and because the Allies did win the war. I think we're very lucky to live how we do live now, but of course there is that constant threat of tyranny, and I think if one thing the war shows us is that if we stick together and I think if people try to do good and just think of your fellow man, and I don't know, there's a lot. I'm not going to get political on here because it's not the place all the time, but no, it's our Liberation Day. So yes, we've been celebrating. I still have here, so we had a sort of little tea set out. Here's some, I'm going to be dropping them of course because that's what I do. I've still got a couple of little mini croissants left over. I put some Jersey honey and a bit of butter. I'm having them. I'm going to have those in a bit because of course I haven't eaten enough cakes and pastries yet. I've eaten more than enough. But that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm also going to be doing 2,000 words because I'm trying to do that every day because I'm writing this first draft of my fourth Holy Hot Farm book for Boldwood. So I'm only 19,000 words in, but I really do need to get a move on because this thing is out in November. So that's what I'm doing today. Now my sort of celebrations are over. My family members have gone home. But it was really special. I celebrated it with my mum and my godmother and my sister-in-law, one of my sister-in-laws, and my son. And yeah, it was lovely. We had a really nice time. So if you're from the island, happy Liberation Day to you. If you're here or away, yes, I hope you're having a lovely time celebrating. My son, it's my first time celebrating with him in 6 years because of course he was living away in Japan for all that time, and so it was wonderful to have him back and able to celebrate with him. And yes, and so many friends who have such strong connection to the island. My lovely friend, brilliant author, I read all her books, Christina Jones, amazing. She was on the island for a long time and comes back whenever she can, and she always celebrates Liberation Day. So hi Chris. And yeah, so many other people. My own daughter's not here this year. She's usually here for Liberation Day. She's not. She's working away at the moment. So hi Saz. Yeah, but I think it's something like this brings you all together. It reminds you of things, your own family and your family history, and just what it means to be able to be as free as those of us who are lucky enough to be as free as we are now. Long may that last. So I hope you're having a good day. For everyone in Europe, so Great Britain yesterday, happy V-Day for yesterday, and the other Channel Islands. So each of the Channel Islands were liberated on a different day, and so now I should remember which one it is tomorrow. I think, is it Alderney tomorrow? celebrate. I'm not sure. Guernsey were yesterday. Yeah, so all very exciting, and all the Channel Islands will be celebrating over the yesterday and the next few days. So yes, apart from me waffling on, I better now get on and write. I hope you have a lovely day. It's a beautiful sunny day out there, as it usually is on Liberation Day. Well, we always say it's always sunny on Liberation Day. I will chat to you again very soon. Thank you for joining me. If you've liked this waffle, please give me the thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Thank you very much for joining me, and I hope you have a lovely day.